So, if trans people are queer, and we agree trans people are queer, can trans people be straight?
So when it comes to queer, the actual word queer is an umbrella term for people who are not heterosexual or not cisgender. So a trans person is not cisgender. So no, they would not be like a straight person. A heterosexual cisgendered woman would not be considered queer at all. Trans women are in that umbrella because they are not cisgender. So no, everything you said did not even make sense.
It did make sense because trans people are queer, so that means that queer people can be straight.
Basically, this is directed to the individual that was saying F the grandchildren, F your grandchildren, the idea of it. And I just want to know if they can possibly understand that's why the heterosexual male is totally against this whole thing, because in reality, it seems that the people that advocate this, that are against toxic masculinity, that feel women are in danger, they use the most profanity, they're the most rude, and they're the most uncooperative or amicable to have a conversation with. And I truly believe that if we don't have the situation together where the women can trust the men, you're going to have a situation where the society is completely crumbled. Because if you notice, the only people that advocate separating these families are women and men dressed as women. It's a feminine thing that is like destroying it. But that's all I have to say.
So that question was aimed at me because I sure did say fuck them grandkids. And here's why. Y'all get mad when a gay couple is together. And most of the time, y'all always stem on gay men. Always. And y'all get mad at the fact that you're like, oh my gosh, if you're gay, how are you going to be able to have kids? Easy. Do you know how many kids are in the adoption agency? Do you know how many kids are sitting there waiting to get a home? They can give you those same grandkids from that home. It doesn't matter if it came biologically from their stomach or not, or from their balls or not. And honestly, there's IVF. There's so many different ways you can still get them grandkids. So don't use kids as the reason why you hate gays.
I just wanted to correct her and let her know that as a heterosexual man, yes, it is totally all about the kids. We care not what you do behind closed doors. We don't care how you have sex, how you like to have sex, who you have sex with. But anytime we get to a point where you want to involve our children in your type of thinking, or you feel the need to look for foster kids in order to create pseudo families, there's a problem. You have to understand that this is it's abnormal. Regardless if you feel that it's a good thing or it makes you feel happy, it's totally abnormal.
Don't. Y'all use that as an excuse. It's always an excuse. No, we care about our kids. Oh, they want to make a pseudo family. Do you not understand the technology we have nowadays where they can still have kids that are biologically related to them? Have you not realized that? Stop using the children the same way some people use religion as a bias for their hatred. Stop using kids for your reason for you feeling uncomfortable with a gay couple being able to have kids.
So, do you think the LGBT community is filled with predators?
I believe, to answer your question simply, no. But what I do believe is that their behavior and their mindset is not conducive to reproducing a family, which is necessary to keep human existence going. That's all.
Okay, go and tell your heterosexual friends to stop giving birth to gay and bisexual people. That's the only. And I don't know how you do that. Maybe go and donate this in a research or something. Go and tell them to stop giving birth to bisexual or gay children.
So I had questions for conservative and Tay. But first, I'm gonna start conservative because you just said some wild ass shit. Like, I'll start off by first of all, you know that like being homosexual does not remove your like biological reproductive capabilities. Like you can still have children of your own. It happens all the time. People use, I don't agree with surrogacy, but people use surrogacy. People use all types of methods to still have their own children. It's really not stopping that. It's a very regular thing. And I will acknowledge for some people there is a biological urge to still have their own like bio children. So I guess I won't shit on that, even though I don't 100% agree with that. Like you can adopt. But yeah, it's definitely like one of my favorite singers, I think Rufus Wainwright. He had a child with his best friend the natural way. So, and he's a gay man with a partner, with a male partner. So this whole argument just makes no fucking sense. The next thing of, again, like the whole thing of, oh, well, heterosexual men just want to protect their family no matter what. I feel as though I kind of like other people kind of disproved this earlier throughout different conversations today. If we look at most of the people that sexually assault children, who is it? I'm sorry, but it's men, and that includes heterosexual men, especially. Gay men don't have a higher rate of pedophilia versus men. So this whole argument again just falls. Men abuse, men do all types of stuff to their family. Men are more likely to abandon their families, which include their children. So please stop the whole very disingenuous. Oh, it's heterosexual men just want to protect. Absolutely not.
What I would like though is sometimes, you know, the LGBTQ AI plus and everything else, they have a spectrum, right? And they say, hey, I'm not gay, I'm queer. I'm not gay, I'm trans. When a heterosexual person says they're heterosexual, respected as heterosexual. If a man you call heterosexual is molesting somebody, that's a pedophile. That's not a heterosexual. A heterosexual is a man that has sex with a woman that is developed and is, you know, for the most, you know, consenting. You know, understand what I'm saying? So heterosexuals have sex with the opposite sex that are mature. That's it.
So I first of all have to say that I completely disagree with any criticism of, you know, LGB. I think that your sexuality is totally different from the whole alphabet soup bollocks, as we call it in England. And because it's you're talking about they talk about identifying as, and I absolutely think this is a cult. And so my question to you is, how can I, you know, if I could identify as a man, what else can I identify as? Can I identify as a different race? Can I identify as a different nationality? Can I identify as disabled?
You can identify as whatever the hell you want to. Why? Because it's still not going to stop my bills from needing to be paid. Y'all always want to use that whole, can I identify a different race? Come and be black. You asked me, can you identify as whatever, 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 whatever? Y'all are not a part of a community to define what is in that community. Just like you can't come over here on the black side and tell me what I can and cannot do in the black community, you can't tell the LGBTQIA plus community what is considered in their community. Just because it doesn't fit
No
well with
problem with the
you
LGB.
doesn't mean
No
that.
problem with the
So y'all may think
LGB.
that the LGB is the best part and the T and the Q is like the worst part. If you want to identify as a goldfish, girl, gobble, gobble, bubble,
And
bubble,
so
I
you
will
would
help you
support that.
identify with that. My lights will turn on whether you identify to be a
But
goldfish
that's
or a
mental
lady.
illness. That's mental
It's
illness.
a mental ill. What's a mental illness is you thinking you have control over people's
I don't
lives.
have control
That's a
over the
mental
mentally
illness.
ill,
The
neither do
fact that you
you.
think you can sit here and tell people what they can and cannot do when you're not paying their bills, yeah, no. Let me find you the right pill that you
Oh,
need
so
to pop
money
because
just
man,
resolves
you met your
everything,
match.
does it?
Next,
Money just.
hold on. The question for you is, what is the heterosexual race going to do to prevent gay people from having kids, even though kids are already going to be here?
Okay, so for one, kids just don't pop up. Usually, how this happens is there's a relationship or some type of love or affection involved between a heterosexual man and a woman. That's how usually children are born. And the reason, what was the other thing? Oh, she said to stop using kids. I mean, that's the thing is that if we're supposed to understand that a man feels like a woman, can't you understand that a heterosexual man who as he matures, becomes a father, cares about the child?
Taylor, this is your time now to ask your question, and you can either direct it or make it general. And once it's general, whoever uses this emoji gets to take a bite at the questions.
Yeah, hi. I mean, I'm not going to say that I agree with Conservative on many of his points. I have nothing against the LGBs. In fact, it was the gay rights movement that made me affirm my daughter in her ideology situation to begin with, because I thought it was part of the gay rights movement. But I do agree on the trans situation.
Kids who are wanting to transition, they show very, very, very early stages. It's not just a random, oh, I'm 11 and this is what I want. No, they literally start off at 2 or 3 where they're wanting to wear heels and wanting dresses. And at first you keep in because they're kids. But if my kid comes up to me and they talk to me about it and they really break it down on why, and I ask them all of the questions that stem for why this is what they want to do, and if this is the decision that they want to make, then I'm solely going to support my kids. Now, when it comes to surgery, no, I would not put my kid through surgery at a young age. But the period blockers, the hormone blockers, I would, because all of these things about it will burn your brain and all of this other stuff, I need someone to send me the fucking articles for this. Because people have been doing this before everybody in this space was born. That's what kills me. These same things that these kids are using to transition have been used in fucking sports. The fuck? I'm gonna take a breather.